What about major market events? Because then same thing. So I don't know if we can map this back to COVID. You tell me. You have a major market event that's basically impacting everything. If you're running a shop like this, how do you take one of those all correlations went to one type of event? What would happen?
Yeah, well, I think smart risk managers are thinking about those events and thinking about them very carefully and taking steps to avoid, um, uh, you know, no, at least knowable factor risk. I think the challenge with a lot of these strategies, in particular leverage strategies, is that um, if you run into circumstances where you have either a reason for why there might be a hard factor rotation that's unexpected, like an outsized factor rotation, or something that affects the leverage capability, which then creates, cross-cutting moves, essentially, where you have forced deleveraging across the whole portfolio. That is, those are some of the risks to this business model. So I think, simple examples like back in July, we saw a hard rotation from, away from growth and towards Russell 2K. Well, like a traditional equity long short might be looking at maybe long growth stocks, right? And maybe not literally growth stocks, but it could be growth oriented stocks in your sector and various things like that, relative to short, smaller caps, loss producing companies, et cetera. Like, it didn't take much to create a hard factor rotation there that was kind of unexpected. And one of the challenges, this is one of the challenges in general, is like, if all of these managers are thinking about risk management similarly and cutting out factors similarly and trying to get to the same kinds of idiosyncratic alphas in a similar way, you essentially create peer risk, positioning risk, because you often, if you strip out all the same factors, right? And let's say the Citadel PM team for TMT is as good as the Balyasny TMT team, as good as um, you know, the Millennium team, then their idiosyncratic alpha will likely be correlated to each other. And so in a lot of ways, um, and now you're levered five times, and so it has outsized effect. And so for those of us who lived through, say, the quant disaster of '07, I don't know how many, if you all remember the quant disaster of '07, like the market, by creating more and more of these entities, more and more of these concentrated entities, risk positioning in the same way, you create a greater implicit risk of dynamics like that playing out.